So Fletch, you see a couple cigars there. What's going on?
So today I decided I'm going to challenge you in a game of this or that.
All right, so you're looking for some revenge. This is like the revenge tour.
Absolutely.
So last time I challenged you, LADC Connecticut versus Elegancia. You got them twisted up. You got them wrong.
Yes, I did.
Okay. And you thought I pulled shenanigans, which I didn't, right?
Yep.
So today's the revenge. All right, so in the game of this and that.
So I chose San Cristobal Quintessence.
Okay.
And the Aroma de Cuba Pasion.
All right. Sounds good.
So see if you could decipher
Two
which
really
one is
good
which.
blends.
Yeah.
I should be able to do it. So challenge accepted.
All right.
So do I get to choose which one I go first?
Choose
cigar
whatever.
number one.
Yep.
All right. I'm just going to
one
choose the cigar closest to me. Is that okay
Fine.
with you?
Yep.
All right. Don't mix them up.
I know it already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to get this cut.
Yep.
And we'll get started.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, Maz, what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I love both blends. This is very enjoyable. You know, I tried to get it to this point now where I'm really trying to assess it. You know, I think anytime you play Guess the Cigar or this or that, we tell people all the time at home, if you're going to try to guess a blend, get beyond the combustion, right? Because sometimes that's very deceiving. A cigar could hit you a certain way when you first light it, and then, you know, once it settles. So I'm kind of in that zone now where it's starting to settle a little bit for me. I think I have an indication of what it is already, but of course, you know, I got to take my time. I think the key with the game, this or that, as opposed to when we do Guess the Cigar, when it's only one cigar, and it's obviously a broad kind of possibilities, right? With this or that, it's one or the other, we know that. But I think getting to the sweet spot of the cigar and then stopping and then starting the second cigar is the best way to get a true essence of the blend. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't judge initially, and then once you get beyond the sweet spot and you get towards the end, a cigar could change. It won't be characteristic of the blend sometimes.
Right.
So I think judging them both into the sweet spots is going to be my plan of attack.
All right. Well, I'm smoking the same cigar that you picked, by the way.
You are smoking?
I'm smoking the one that you picked, yes.
What is it? I thought you maybe.
Good try.
I thought maybe you just slip it out, yeah. So Fach, I think it's interesting that you chose two cigars, even though they're both Nicaraguan filler and binder, with two different wrappers, right? So first of all, how'd you choose these? What was your thought process?
I mean, I just wanted to get something that was from the same factory.
Okay.
And looked somewhat similar. So, obviously, they're both different in taste. They have totally different profiles. But that's the way I went ahead and chose them.
Right, because when I challenged you to this or that, I used the same filler binder, which is Nicaraguan, and then same wrapper variety. Right. So this is a little different variation.
I figured I'd change it up a little bit.
Well, you know, with this game, this or that, we're going to get to that point where we're going to have wrappers that might look alike, right? Like say, for example, San Andreas and Broadleaf, they could look like each other. Right. So, but to decipher the taste, because this is not an exercise just like Guess the Cigar in aesthetics, it's an exercise in taste.
Right.
So I like the thought process. You're right, they should both stand out to me like as being different, but I always say, once that band comes off a cigar, it all goes out the window, right?
Yep.
So, and for people out there to say, that's not the case, it's easier than you're making it out to be, try it at home. Once the band comes off, if you don't know, even if it's a brand you're familiar with, one of your favorite blends, it gets into your head and then all bets are off.
Yeah,
so
it's tough.
Yeah. But you like this game, this or that?
I do, yeah, I do. I mean, you know.
You like it better in that seat than last time. Well, last time you had to guess. So you probably love it right now.
I do.
But I think it's a fun game.
No, it absolutely is, and I'm kind of upset that I lost last week.
You'll redeem yourself. You got a really good palate.
Yeah.
You know, and
it wasn't good that day.
Well, you probably didn't sleep well.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe.
You said before, long ash competition, you mentioned your sleep all the time. I don't know how that factors into smoking cigars, but if it works for you, that's great.
Yeah.
But, you know, what I look for...
I like to be nice and refreshed when I do this, you know?
So Fox, let me ask you something. The two blends, San Cristobal Quintessence and also the Aroma de Cuba Pasion.
Right.
What do you get out of that from a taste perspective? You know, just to give us some insight. I mean, I have my own opinions, but like, what do you get from those cigars?
So I'll start off with the San Cristobal Quintessence first.
Okay.
You know, when I smoke that cigar, I get more of a sweetness to it, along with cedar and some nuts. You know, when I smoke the Pasion, it's more of a spicier cigar, I guess, due to the fact that it has that Nicaraguan shade-grown wrapper, that new wrapper that Pepin uses.
Right.
But I still get some cedar, maybe a little bit of molasses also on that Pasion.
Okay.
How about you?
So for me, like I always think of Pasion, speaking of Pasion, I always get a cashew note. You know what I mean? To me, like it has a nuttiness, but a lot of times I can't always put my finger on the, like, you know, all right, is it cashew? Is it this? Is it walnut? Is it almond? But, you know, like Nicaraguan tobacco inherently has a nuttiness to it.
Right.
When it comes to the Pasion, it's like almost like smoked cashew, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I definitely get that nuttiness quality.
Right? And obviously there's spice there, there's some leather there. It's a very interesting blend because it has a very unique wrapper. I mean, it's grown in a region in Nicaragua, which, you know, tobacco wasn't grown prior, so it's not a known commodity. It's a shade-grown project, so it has a very unique flavor profile, which might help me in this case. Now, when it comes to the Quintessence, I definitely agree with you. I think when you like Quintessence, you know, Habano wrapper, which you would think had more leather and kind of spice, but off the go, when I light a Quintessence, I get really like a chocolatey note. And it's more like milk chocolate. You know, we talk about times like dark chocolate notes, cocoa notes. It's kind of more like milk chocolate and cedar and a little bit of spice. And the spice is kind of off in the distance a little bit. Yeah. And then as I smoke it, the spice becomes a little bit more prominent. But that milk chocolate note from Quintessence is usually the indicator to me that I'm smoking Quintessence, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like both blends, so.
Well, this will be fun exercise because, you know, obviously I smoke both blends, but I have, obviously there's a huge rotation in the cigars that we do smoke, which obviously helps us along when we play Guess the Cigar, because obviously then it's wide open to everything in the humidor. But in close proximity, like back to back, that should really stand out to me. It should stand
absolutely.
out to me. But it doesn't. That's not always the case though, right? Because right now, if you ask me to guess, I have a thought what I think it is.
All right.
But I'm not.
Do you want to say it? Or
no, I don't, because I'm not 100% confident. At first, I thought I was confident once it settled down a little bit. But I want to get a little bit more into it. I want to say I want to smoke it down.
Well, tell me what you think it is. And I mean, I won't say, obviously, but.
No, I'd rather not say.
All right.
I'd rather not say.
Okay.
Because I want to just, you know, take it in. Unless you want me. Do you want me to take a
No,
stab?
that's all right. So you are going to light up the second cigar, though?
I am going to light the second cigar. But like I said, I think a good way to play this or that, for me, what works for me, is to get to the sweet spot and stop. Because the first time I kind of did this, which was off camera, downtown.
Too far up?
I smoked both. I smoked the first cigar all the way down. I let it go, and then, you know, maybe like 15 minutes later, I lit up the second cigar. And
now, when you smoke them in such close proximity, you think that, you know, changes your palate?
Well, I like to drink a little water in between. I mean, I know last time when we did this or that, you were trying to smoke them both at the same time.
Yeah,
and I have to
you
say,
didn't agree with that.
Well, no, and I've done that before. Like I've been in Nicaragua, and you know, we're working on blends for Ashton, and you know, Jaime Garcia will come out with 2 prototypes, and it'll be Cigar 1 and Cigar 2. And there's times where I will actually put the one down, drink a little water, go right to the second one. But the last couple times I've been to Nicaragua, I've kind of slowed my roll with that because I was thinking that the flavors on my palate were getting combined.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure the first cigar dissipated enough to where the second cigar could really stand on its own. So there's 2 schools of thought. I know there's a lot of people out there I respect that test cigars that way, like 2 at the same time. They'll go right there. They can because they have really educated palates. And even though we do as well, I just think that my process is to smoke a cigar, put it down, wait a couple, you know, drink a little water, and then go to the. You know
I
what I mean?
agree.
But it's tough when you're smoking both lit at the same time, which I always used to do. then I find myself at times kind of like thinking to myself, well, am I getting that from the other
Yeah, it just
cigar?
mashes all the flavors together, I think, you know?
Well, it can. And especially you're talking about when you're working with prototypes, it could be one leaf off. Like in other words, because you're working with a certain blend, there's obviously an image for like what you want to have for this blend, right? And, you know, we want Habano wrapper, medium to full body, blah, blah, blah. And then when, you know, it's being blended, they might just take one Ligero leaf out. So you're talking about trying to decipher, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and if you smoke them both together, they could combine in your palate. So I think the process, and guess what? I mean, if I get it wrong, maybe the process is the other way. But I'm just trying to give people out there that are watching some insight, if you're going to do this, is to really kind of give you a break. Try not to smoke them both at the same time. But if you know what, if that works for you, go for it. Because like I said, I know people in the industry that do that when they're testing blends, and it works for them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I have faith in you, so I think you'll choose.
Well, put it this way: did it help you when you were doing that? Do you think? I mean, even though I know you didn't, I'm not trying to rub it in your face that you got it wrong. I'm just asking you. Do you feel like it helped you, or you think it hindered you?
Smoking back to back.
Like the same time, because you had them
Yeah,
both.
no,
lit.
I think next time I'm going to smoke like you. I'm going to smoke it to the sweet spot and then go ahead and go into the other one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm into the sweet spot now. I think it's time to set it down and get into the next cigar. All right?
Yeah, all right.
I'll take one more puff, one more retrohale, set it down, and we'll get the second one
You
cut.
got it. So what do you think?
I think it's interesting, and then this is, you didn't know this, so, but in these two blends, Quintessence and the Pasion, I smoked the Robusto, which you got the Robusto size here, but not as often as I smoke other sizes in the blends. So when it comes to Quintessence, I usually smoke the Corona Gorda and the Churchill quite a bit, right? Just you pick your favorites, you know?
Yep.
And then the Pasion, the Corona, and the box press Torpedo
I'm
in the
same way.
Pasion. So this is really cool that I'm smoking a size that I don't normally smoke, even though I do smoke them.
Yeah.
But it's not my go-to normally.
Yeah, I generally don't smoke a Robusto. I don't know why, but
I love like the size.
I know
love.
you do.
But you're a Toro guy
Yeah.
all the way. Yeah, I like to jump around a little bit, see how the flavor changes in
Yeah.
formats, and it does change definitely
Oh,
different
absolutely.
formats, especially when you're real familiar with a blend. Obviously, if you only smoked one cigar of a blend, it's different. So normally when you smoke like a blend that's like, say like, some people are very loyal, brand loyal.
Right.
If you smoke one size, but you smoke the blend consistently, when you change sizes, that's when you really notice there's a difference in formats. Because you have to be really familiar with the blend.
right. Now, do they blend a cigar after the Robusto size? Always or no? Or is that not the case?
Well,
I mean, that's what I heard.
every factory is a little different. A Robusto size is very common to blend in that size for prototypes.
Okay.
The blends that I've smoked and that I've been a part of when it comes to prototypes have been Toro sizes. Toro's a nice medium size. It's not a Churchill. It's not a Robusto. It gives you a kind of like a median, right? An indicator of what that blend's going to be like. So at the My Father factory, when I've smoked the prototypes, it's always been in a Toro size. But I know that Pepin, years ago, I heard he blends a lot in the Robusto size for himself. Okay. But everybody's different, their approach to prototypes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So can you tell me about any flavor profile that the cigar's giving you right now?
Well, I'm a big believer in first impressions, right? So when I first lit this cigar, after it settled down, one of them popped in my head. And then when I first lit this cigar, off the combustion, as soon as it settled, I had an idea what this could be.
Okay.
So first instincts are telling me, which are good, but the thing is, as you smoke a cigar, sometimes as it develops, it could change your mind a little bit. I have to say, you always have to follow your compass when it comes to your first impression. So I'm going to give it a go, but I do have an idea which is which right now.
You think the water helped at all in between?
I think the water definitely helps, you know, kind of freshen the palate a little bit, you know, like a refresher. Some people use coffee, like I've heard people say, like, you know, but I think coffee might kind of mess with your palate because if it lingers,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
if it lingers in your palate, it's really kind of gilding the lily. It'll enhance the blend to have, oh, it's got coffee notes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think water, especially just like flat mineral water, or if you use sparkling, some people like sparkling to cleanse their palate, but water definitely helps in between a cigar, I think. So Foch, in the first blend, there was spice there. I did get cashew notes from that.
All right.
So to me, like I said earlier, when I think of smoked cashew and flavors of a cigar, to me that speaks of Pasion.
Okay.
This cigar I'm smoking right now, I'm gonna say is the Quintessence because there's a sweetness to it. There's a chocolatey flavor note, like a milk chocolate flavor note. It has some spice to it. It has some cedar to it as well. All the flavor profiles we were talking about. To me, this has that now. So if I was going to guess right this second, fire to my feet, I'm going to say that's Pasion, this is Quintessence. But I have to say, I'm not convinced 100%, but my initial reaction was that was the Pasion. And when I lit this and I got that milk chocolate note, that to me spoke of Quintessence.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think you're right on with the flavors for both. You know, when I smoke both of those, I get that same exact flavor profile, so.
Yeah, I mean, not that I don't get sweetness with the Pasion, I do. There's something there, but I can't put my finger on it. Like with this, I taste milk chocolate, even like a little graham cracker.
Okay.
But they are different blends, that's for sure. Now I just got to get them arranged in my head properly. And I have to trust my gut, right?
Yeah.
And trust my palate. But both are excellent cigars.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I agree.
But I need to get into this a little bit more before I make my assessment for this or that.
All right.
So if I get it right, are you going to be mad at me?
No, why would I be mad?
Well, you got it wrong. Well, you got it wrong.
It's all right. There's more episodes to come.
You're right.
So, Maz, what do you think I'm smoking?
I think you're smoking a Pasion. And the reason why I say that is because when I was smoking the first cigar, you said, I'm smoking what you're smoking right now. So if my assessment is correct, that this first cigar was the Pasion, that means you're smoking the Pasion as well. That's my assessment. Is it possible?
I'm not telling you.
Let me look at my face. Let me see. Ooh. I think I'm ready for a guess. So I might be jumping the gun a little bit. I'm in the beginning of the sweet spot. This is Quintessence. Cigar number 2 is Quintessence. Cigar number 1 is Pasion.
All right.
Well, how'd I do?
You got it right.
All right. So in this or that, I'm 1-0. You're 0-1.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
All right. So, you know, next better luck.
Good job. I knew you were going to get it.
You knew I was going to get it?
Yeah, you have a good palate, so.
You know what? It's definitely a tough challenge because aesthetically the cigars look obviously so much alike. But I have to say, I think the fact that like the wrapper variety on the Quintessence is Ecuadorian Habano.
Right.
And on the Pasion, it's Nicaraguan shade grown. So 2 different country blends when it comes to wrapper. And we always talk about like how much the wrapper influences a blend. And having different countries at play, I think it gives you a little bit more help that way, right? Yeah. But you know, normally I smoke the Quintessence and the Churchill, right? But you know, to me, like that note of milk chocolate, as soon as I got that blast, I knew I thought, again, you can't be 100%,
right.
But I thought I was really on the right track.
That's a great size, by the way, in that cigar.
The Churchill.
Churchill smokes great in that blend. It smokes totally different than the rest of the sizes in that blend.
Well, yeah, I always say if you have time for a Churchill, it's a phenomenal size, right? It's a phenomenal format. But, you know, doing this exercise moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see next time. You know, I might even throw this one at you.
Yeah.
You know, not the next time because I don't want to be redundant, or maybe I will.
That's
you never
fine.
know.
I mean,
you never know.
I think I would get it.
I think honestly, I think you would get it too, because the wrapper definitely changes the profile of the cigar, and they're both great cigars in their own right, but they have different flavors.
Right.
Chocolate, milk chocolate, cedar, spice, that smoked cashew. Like if you get to this challenge, if I give it to you, you think about that smoked cashew.
Well, I
note.
get that, and I told you I'm smoking the same cigar that you were at first, so I am getting that nuttiness, that cashew that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So
like if we do San Andreas versus broadleaf,
yeah.
Those wrappers should tell the tale.
Oh
right?
yeah. I mean, we could even do San Andreas Brazilian.
We could. How about Ecuadorian Connecticut versus True Connecticut? That's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to see.
Absolutely.
Right? So we'll actually be able to kind of prove to people out there watching that wrapper makes up so much of the flavor of cigar. It should stand out to you when you have two different wrappers, and you know which one is one is the other.
Right.
Right? So as we progress with this or that,
Well, we definitely have quite a few more episodes to film.
oh man, the possibilities are endless, right? When it comes to the different combinations we could do. I mean, as long as they look the same aesthetically,
Yep.
right? And they're the same size, the possibilities are endless. You know what would be really cool? If we throw it to the audience, right? The subscribers out there. They drop
Yeah.
us a comment and they let us know, right?
Yeah.
A good idea for this or that. So if you're out there, you're enjoying the video, drop us a comment, let us know the next challenge for this or that. But before we depart, make sure you hit that like button,
Smash the subscribe button,
and we'll see you here next time.